Hey you guys, what's up? My name is Sarah. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. If you guys do enjoy my content, welcome back to everybody else. All my other subscribers, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for returning again. I really do appreciate it. All right, you guys, so in today's video, I wanted to give you an update on my absolute favorite plant that I have out here in my sunroom, and I figured I might as well do my favorite climbing plant because I really feel like I don't ever see many people talk about this plant, and it has just taken off for me. It's my absolute favorite out here, and I really hope that you guys will give it a chance to climb because I think it's going to be so rewarding for you. So yeah, if you've been with my channel for a while, I'm sure you know what plant I'm going to talk about. I also have two other plants that I want to show you, but mainly we're going to be talking about my favorite plant out here. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get right to it. All right, you guys, so here is my absolute favorite climbing houseplant. This is my heartleaf philodendron. You guys, it is insane. It has just completely taken over out here, and I am just in love. I absolutely love it. It's actually two plants that I have on this huge log that I chopped down in my yard. And if you can tell over here to the left, I had to put a little hook on the ceiling. I'm gonna give you guys some more close-ups and show you, but yeah, I had to put a hook on the ceiling, and it is just going insane. I cannot believe it. This plant was so small when I first got them. The one right here on the left is growing more than the one on the right, but that's okay. I had the one on the left a little bit longer, and it's just bigger, but I'm fine with that. There is a video on my channel, I'm gonna link it, of me trying to redo this guy, and yeah, he was on a really small, I guess another branch for a while, and I had to upgrade him. So here it is, upgraded. It is just, I don't know, you guys, it's absolutely insane. Look at it. The branches just start at the bottom and just go all the way up to the top. It is absolutely insane, you guys, and I love how all the leaves are just facing forward. I think it's so cool how they all just kind of reach for the light, but I'm in love with this plant. It gives my sunroom complete jungle vibes out here. It just completely took off for me the second I gave it something to climb. It's just insane, and I can't believe like how big all the leaves are and just how happy it is. And yeah, I have had it probably a couple years. I'm gonna have to look back and see if I can figure out when I started this thing on my Instagram. If I can find a picture of how small it was when it started, I will put I'll put it in here so you guys can see. But yeah, it is just gone completely crazy, and I just love it. I really do need to get over here and string up some of these other branches that are just loose and hanging everywhere, but I just cannot believe how big it got. Once I gave it something to climb, you guys, it took off for me. Massive, massive, you guys. Look at how insane. Not this guy, he's crazy too, but I am in love. I don't know, anytime I have anybody ever come over, they're just like, oh my gosh, that is insane. Like, it is the talk of the sunroom, my beautiful heartleaf. I mean, the branches are just growing everywhere. Like I said, I had to attach it over here on the ceiling, and I have to re-loop some of the branches. I call them legs. I know they're not, but some of its legs back up around it. And I had no idea that when I started this, it was gonna turn into what it is. I just started it, and I thought it would be really cool because I found in my yard this vine that was like all twisted up, and I thought, oh, I'll string some plants up with it. And a lot of the reason why I have so many plants hanging is because of my cat, and now that I'm having a baby, it's probably a good thing. But yeah, I figured why not string it up and try to get it to, like, you know, climb a little bit. I had no idea that it was gonna take off like this. I swear I would have never thought in a million years that it would get this big. I've never really seen anybody have one climbing in this type of way, like across like that. I do see people that put them just on totem poles, and they do get really big. I would love to be able to have a couple of my other plants climbing like this, and I think it would be really cool if I tried it with my micans. I know micans do really well also climbing like this, and I do have like a couple neon philodendrons, so neon heartleaf. I think it would be really cool if I did that on like the other side of the room somewhere. I don't know. The way that this one took off for me, I'm just completely obsessed with it now. So I am in love with this plant, and I left it out here all winter. This year we are going to get a door. We have like a glass door here, but we are going to get like more of a real door. And yeah, it survived through the winter, and it gets pretty cold out here, so I couldn't move it inside, as you can tell. But yeah, anyways, I'm looking at myself now realizing I wore the wrong glasses. These don't have like anti-glare, so you probably can't see my eyes this whole time. I know it's super annoying, but whatever. I have other glasses, but I was just cheap and didn't order the anti-glare, so I feel like when I'm filming, I only film with the same pair over and over again. But anyways, so I would say I really don't water this thing very often. The way that I do water it is I have a big giant silver bucket, and I will put the bucket either on the ground or on top of the ladder, or even hold it sometimes, and I have a watering can, and I just reach like really high, and I pour one whole container from my watering can, and it drains out into the bucket, and that's how I water it. But I really don't water it that often. I do notice that I have to water it more with it being like in the hundreds or really, really hot. But usually if it's really hot, I do turn on my air conditioning unit out here and let that go for a while, because my cats are out here a good bit, so I don't want it to get too hot. But it's done really good, and honestly, like, it doesn't give you a ton of signs that it needs a drink. It just looks a little bit wrinkly, like the leaves just look like a little bit, you know, kind of curled up, or it will look like a little bit droopy. And then I'm like, okay, you can also touch the leaf and tell that the leaf is super, super thin feeling, so that's another sign that it really needs a drink. And I just give it, like I said, one can of water. But sometimes I'll come out here and other things are desperate, and I just grab them and take them inside of my mudroom and water them, and I just completely forget about this guy. So he can go a while without. I did repot him like earlier. Like I said, I'm gonna link that video. Not exactly sure when it was, but I did repot him, and I do try to fertilize. I'm such a lazy fertilizer, you guys. My plants probably hate me, but I do usually, just because I'm so lazy with it, I'll use that Miracle Grow where you like put 2 pumps in for like, and you mix it with your watering can for like bigger plants. And I'll try to do that some, but I don't like crazy fertilize him. I only can do it when I remember, which is definitely not every time, but he's happy. And I just love how like all the leaves stand at attention facing the window. And it's just, I don't know, this is one of my like prized plants, and they're so cheap. Okay, when I got these plants, they were $7.99. So literally I paid $7.99 for each of these plants, and this is what it's turned into. I have chopped him, I mean, not an insane amount, but I have chopped him some and made a couple little starter plants and given it to like friends. My mom has one growing on her porch that's, you know, just like a smaller starter plant, but it's grown a lot. So they do really grow good for me. And they're so easy and they're so accessible. Like, you guys can get one everywhere. I just had no idea that Heartleaf Philodendron would grow like this. I don't feel like my lemon lime version or my neon, whichever it is, grows as fast. I mean, don't get me wrong, they still look good and they grow, you know, pretty fast, but I just don't feel like they grow as fast as this. Maybe it would grow faster if I gave it something to climb. And I do have another one that's just in a hanging basket over here. It really hasn't done much for me. So I really think the more that you can give your plants the actual environment that they're from, if they're like crawlers or climbers, give them something to climb, they will take off for you and they'll just love it. So yeah, I would love to do something like this, like I said, with my micans. I did show you guys my micans a while ago. It had cold damage, but it's doing really good now. I never cut off the cold damage. It just has like blank spots in its vines, and then it just pushed out new leaves. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I think he would be really happy if I gave him something to climb. But yeah, it's just crazy to me how insane this plant took off for me. And just like, it did it in like 1 year, like one whole summer, it just like completely took off for me. So I haven't really had this plant that long. I mean, I would say, I don't know, a couple years, like maybe 3 years, maybe a little bit longer. But when I got them, they were just starter plants. Literally, they were just normal hanging plants, very short, not anything crazy like this. So if you guys want to give yourselves jungle vibes, give your Hartley philodendron something to climb. Let me know in the comment section down below, do you guys have a Hartley philodendron? I feel like it's such a common plant that most people have them. But have you given your plant something to climb like this? If you have, tag me, okay? Tag me on my Instagram. I'm gonna put it right down below, and let me know. Send me pictures, because I want to see it if anybody else has this, because I feel like no one ever talks about the heartleaf climbing. I just always see them, you know, just hanging. The same thing for like the Brazil or the neon. They just are hanging, which they're beautiful hanging, but I just don't feel like anybody's ever given them something to climb like this. Not that I'm like an original, of course people, you know, let their plants climb, but I don't know, I've just never seen it in this type of style, like draped across like this. And yeah, I want to do it with more of my plants. I just don't have room. This is how massive it is, okay? Next to me, if you guys can tell, it is absolutely huge, okay? Insane. I absolutely love it. So yeah, just to give you guys a perspective, I am really short, but my cat's trying to climb the tripod. Quit! No, you bad kitty. You being bad kitty. I'm so short that it doesn't really do it justice, but I figured I would just stand here and show you guys how absolutely crazy this plant is. So next up on my, I guess, honorable mentions of other plants I really do like climbing is this pothos, and it is climbing everywhere. I did just get done watering it. It looks sad, but I don't know, you guys, I'm disappointed. This plant has gotten pests, it's chlorotic, and it just doesn't look as good as it once did. But I will say, once I gave it something to climb, it did the same thing. It also put out these absolutely huge leaves, and the roots and the stems on this thing are insane. Look at how woody the stems are on these, and they literally shoot out insane aerial roots that go way down into this pole. And if it didn't get pests or something didn't go wrong, I would really still be in love with this plant. It kind of makes me sad to show it to you guys, because I know I'm probably going to end up chopping it off. I did a poll on my Instagram, and you guys voted, and like, I think it was 75% said yes to chop it. I hate to do it, because I did really love this plant, but it's just, I don't know, it's not what it once was, and I'm sad. It's just, I don't know. I do really love when pothos climb, but this one's just not so happy anymore. But I figured I would mention it to you guys because they also climb really, really well, and they will attach to stuff, and just the leaves will get giant and huge if you guys give it something to climb. And this was just a cheap hanging basket that I got from like Lowe's or Home Depot, and it grew into this once I gave it a pole. So think about it, let your pothos climb too. Another plant that I do really love climbing is Hoyas. They do really well climbing, so I just gave this one this huge, it's got plenty of places to grow. Look, oh my god, it's way too big. When I'm standing up and I'm not like facing up, it doesn't look that big. But this is a Crimson Princess, and it really loves climbing as well. I'm sorry if it's a little dark. It's getting ready to be nighttime out, and it's like stormy. It needs a drink, okay? The leaves are really soft, and I can just tell it's so thirsty. But this one really does love to climb as well, and I did recently give this pole to climb. And yeah, we'll see. It seems to be taking off for me. I have noticed that I did wrap it around the branches, but I have noticed that it is, you know, growing some more and shooting off some new growth. So don't forget about your Hoyas to give them something to climb as well. I do really love this plant, and it seems to be happy right here. It's a bright window. Like I said, it's stormy now, so it's looking a little bit dark, but it does really like this spot, and I do kind of have it pulled away from the corner so it can get light in the front and the back. But yeah, I just have it all wrapped up around here. I do have a couple little Velcro ties just when I started it, but you know, once it's like good and attached, I shouldn't have to. And these really love climbing because I have another one that's hanging and its vines will try to attach to anything. Alright you guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed seeing my absolute favorite climbing plant. I'm in love with this plant. Don't forget to tag me down below on my Instagram if you guys have a Hartley philodendron that you guys have climbing like this. I want to see it, okay? Show me. I need to see it. But anyways, thank you guys so much if you made it to the end of this video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you guys liked it. Subscribe down below, leave a comment. You know, any type of way you guys interact with my channel, it helps it so much. So thank you so much for that. But that's gonna do it for today, and I will be back at you guys again soon with another one. Bye. Dum 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 dum.